welcome to another members update. As always, there's been plenty going on. It's been a while since the last one, and we've completed some projects and we've started some new ones. So I'm going to take you through today a few different bits. Obviously we've got some new machinery. Project Irrigation's finished, which is great. There's a few projects going on with the car park. I've got to give you an update on the driving range, and obviously with the very dry conditions, it's just kind of give you an update on what's been going on and how we're preparing for the future. So obviously with David and Will joining the team, we wanted to try and support him with some of the equipment. So I've just got some of the kit out, or David's very kindly got some of the kit out just so we can show you and I can talk through what we're seeing at the moment. So this is some of it. I'll show you some of the other stuff that's in the workshop. So we've got a new top dresser. Obviously a big part of what we want to be trying to do is kind of that turf condition. Now obviously to improve turf condition we're going to have to do quite a bit of top dressing. So we've got a new top dresser that's got a much bigger capacity, allows the boys to get a much bigger area covered a lot quicker, a lot more efficiently. And this will be, we start top dressing sort of a lot more of the tee boxes, not just greens. So it'll be some of the tees, obviously approaches and surrounds and things like that. So I'm sure that'll be used plenty over the coming months. We've got this, the Toro Sidewinder. So at the moment it's being used for tees and approaches. It can be used for rough, it can be used for fairway. Obviously it's not ideal, it's not got the biggest deck on it, but it's a much more precise bit of cutting equipment. So yes, we've got the two Ventrax units and we've still got all the other bits of kit that we had before, but this allows us to kind of, or allows Dave and his team to be a little bit more detail, or do a little more detail out on those shorter grass areas. And then moving along, we've got a new greens unit. So we've tried quite a few different greens machines. Now this greens machine can be used for tees as well. It has got tees units for it, but obviously this is Toro, so this is one of the leading grass cutting machines. And with this Toro machine we've also got a few other extra units. So instead of just kind of the stereotypical blades, let me try and take this off the front, see if I can show you. So in there, they're kind of your normal blades, and then at the front you've got a little bit of a groomer there as well. So that's what you would typically have on when you're cutting tees and greens. At the back over there we've got a groomer. So interestingly, this was actually done on the greens today. So they're more vertical blades, so they're kind of just fine grooming, and what that basically does, it tries to reduce the horizontal growth and tries to promote a little bit more of the vertical growth. Try and make that grass stand up on end so we can then cut it and keep a nice consistent surface. We've got then the verticutter. So this is something that's a little bit more aggressive. This will cut in a lot more. This is more for kind of getting rid of some of the thatch that you might see on the surface. So they're a little bit kind of wider in spacing, but a little bit deeper they'll go as well. And that's quite a lot more aggressive. So that one behind is one that we probably use kind of more frequently, just for kind of turf condition. This is more when we're kind of trying to get rid of some of that thatch and be a slightly more aggressive. And then we've got this one here, which is a saddle roller. So this is something, it's just plenty of spikes on there, and we'll just use this as a bit of kit just to try and keep that surface open and stop any compaction on the surface. So as a start, we've still got some kit to come as well, so I'll go through that shortly when I show you the other two bits. But look, we're increasing the fleet, we're investing in the golf course, and it is all now on turf care and turf condition. I also wanted to introduce you to the other member of the team, which is Obi-Wan. So this is Dave's dog. I'm sure you'll see him around the golf course. He's a friendly fella and he will love to say hello. So two of the new bits of kit, I'm up in the shed. So this one on the right, this is an aero seeder. So both of these bits of kit are mounted on the back of tractors. So this one is an aero seeder, so you can see at the back there's plenty of little holes. And then you've got another roller in there, and then there's a brush on the other side of this, and this blue container at the top is filled with seed. So the idea of this is that we can fill it with seed, the guys can run the tractor out, and we can see big areas in one big hit. So obviously over the next few years, we've got a lot of seeding to do to try and get a lot more grass coverage out on the fairways and surrounds and walk-offs and things like that. So this machine will be in overdrive, I would imagine, because especially when we do the fairway maintenance in October, we're going to be using this machine to put the seed in the fairway, put the seed in the hole, and effectively, like I say, it drops seed and then it brushes it in and puts little dimples in so the seed can go in and be found. The next bit, this is a verti-drain, so this is the SR72. So again, it doesn't look much from this side. This is the side that it connects to the tractor. A bit of a spin you around and kind of take you around this side of the machine. there are some big spikes in there. So this is going to be predominantly for the fairways and surrounds and things like that when we want to do some big heavy spiking. So it will help with drainage, turf health, and obviously relieving any compaction that we might have. One of the other big bits of kit that we've got coming as well is that pedestrian spiker. You would have seen in my last greens maintenance video. We've got one of those coming that is due to us any day. We've bought it, so I'm sure that bit of kit will be used over the winter, over the summer, as soon as the ground allows, and that is more of a precision spiking machine. So all exciting stuff, and I'm sure there's a few other bits to come, and I'll show you them as they turn up. So, project irrigation is finally complete. Huge congratulations and thank you's got to go to Stephen Perry and obviously David finishing off the project. But I just flicked on a few of the sprinkler heads just to give you an idea of what it looks like. It's pretty cool. We've got fairway irrigation. So at the moment with the ground conditions, we've had the fairway sprinklers on every night for the last 8 or 9 days. They've only been doing 1 rotation per head. Obviously, just so you know, the pressure's a little bit low because I've turned all of the heads on here, just to kind of give you an idea. But normally, at any one time, only half of these heads would be on. But we've been irrigating the fairways, and we'll continue to just keep on top of it. I'm sure you'll agree, the fairways are actually starting to get greener, even though everywhere else is drying out and burning out. But it's looking pretty good. We've got plenty of water, so we're just going to keep going. So obviously with the water being on, and we're starting to get a bit of green coming back on the fairways, which is great. The grass is growing and it allows Adam to get out on the fairway mower. So even at this time of year where everywhere's barren, and where we were barren, bone dry, we're starting to see some grass growth. And obviously Adam can get out there on our nice fairway machine, get some definition out on the golf course. So now we're able to get some water out on the fairways. David and the team have been working on top dressing some of these drain lines. So slightly different colour of material that we've been putting in these drain lines. This is more of a kind of an organic matter, so it's got a little bit more mud, if you like, or topsoil to it. So the idea is that yes, this will still free draining and this will still drain. It still allows water to pass through so the drain can function as it should. But it will also hold a bit more moisture as well, which will obviously help that seed to start to germinate. Obviously it brings the levels up. At the moment, yeah, it doesn't look great having these nice dark stripes across the fairway. However, it shouldn't be too long now. We've got the water and the grass should start coming through. Obviously we've got ALS, which is a coring company, coming at the beginning or the middle of October. So they'll be here for 2 days, and their job, or what they're going to be doing for us, is they're going to be coring all the fairways. So that's spiking the fairways, taking a plug out the fairway, taking material out of the fairway and removing it for us like we do on the greens. Obviously that allows to relieve some compaction and aerate and get some air into the ground. And then David and his team will be following behind using that aero seeder and top dressing. Now they will be top dressing the entire golf course that week with this material. I mean, now Dave calls it humus. He's nicknamed it that. It's kind of a combination of topsoil, compost, fertilizer and seed. It's his own blend that he's made up, and he's used it elsewhere and it's worked, so he's using it here as well. So hopefully we're going to start seeing a little bit more grass growing. Obviously I know as soon as we've got our Pro Core here, which is our pedestrian spiker, David's got plans that he wants to run over these drain lines, core, drag in and then compress it down, because on some of the holes they're starting to get a little bit raised on some of the drainage edges. So he wants to kind of try and roll them out, flatten it out and try and create a much smoother playing surface, which I'm sure all those that use trolleys and buggies will be pleased to hear. With the introduction of our irrigation system, obviously one of the big things that we need to make sure that we are measuring and monitoring is our water supply. So for those of you that haven't seen our reservoir, we're up just to the left of the first, obviously in the 15th is just the other side of those bushes over there. So as it stands, our reservoir at the moment, it's dropped about 1.5 meters. so far, and we've got, it's on an average across, it's about 3.5 meters left. So we still have a significant amount of water. We still have plenty of water to survive the rest of the year. Obviously there's a lot of our competitors around the county that are either running out of water or have already run out of water, and obviously one of the things that we want to make sure doesn't happen for us is that that happens. So we are currently exploring all options, whether that's expansion of this reservoir, an extension of this reservoir, an additional reservoir. Obviously this is something that our priority is the turf health and the condition of the golf course, and water, with rules changes and law changes over the next few years, water is going to be at a premium, and we need to make sure that we're ahead of the game, which at the moment we are, but obviously we don't want to stand still, and we want to make sure we're prepared for the future. So I'm up in the car park, but before I explain what Steve and Perry are up to at the moment, I'm sure you'll all join me in saying a huge thank you for all their efforts with installing the irrigation project. Obviously fairway irrigation is now complete. There's a few teething problems with software and things like that, but actually in general the project is all complete. So look, we wouldn't have been able to do that project in such a short space of time so efficiently without Steve and Perry. I mean, they worked in all conditions, all ground conditions, all weather conditions, and it wouldn't have been possible without them. So huge thank you to those two. One of our big concerns has obviously been the car park for quite a while. So Steve and Perry on to the next projects. There's no rest for them. Is they are installing car park divide. So at the moment they're installing, basically it's going to be a sleeper bed, rectangular sleeper beds that kind of run across, and within those sleeper beds we'll put long grass and things like that. So we're using the same sleepers we've got there, and obviously we've had a delivery, so we've got a massive pile in the back left corner, and they will be working their way along the car park, starting at the back so far, working their way forwards. They'll be working along the car park. Obviously this lovely rope and post will be removed, and there'll be nice rectangular sleeper beds, and there'll be gaps as well. Don't worry, there will be gaps. You can kind of just see the two bars on the floor there where there will be gaps to make sure that you can get through, and you can get through with your trolleys as well. So this will just help to tidy up the car park. Obviously once this is done, we'll look at the surface and try and improve the surface to get rid of any of the potholes and try and smooth it out a little bit. Who knows, in the future possibly we'll go for a full tarmac project, but at the moment that's not on the cards. We've got other priorities. But yeah, just tidying up these flower beds or these sleeper beds, and then we'll be looking at putting in some sort of long grass or something like that to try and grow in there, make it look nice and tidy and a little bit more presentable. But once again, thank you very much to Steve and Perry. Here he comes. You can hear Perry coming. Here he comes. Thank you, Perry. As always, there's plenty going on at Crondon, on and off the course. So a little update is off the course. The driving range, as we've been promising, we will be updating the practice facilities. So week beginning Monday the 14th of September, the driving range will be closed. We will have TrackMan on site and Range Servant. So they will be installing the new ball tracking software and a new ball dispenser, which will give our members obviously plenty of options for practice. We've got new golf balls coming as well. So yeah, like I say, upgrading that practice facility, and hopefully it will help you to improve your games. All those playing at the weekend, enjoy, and I'll keep you updated soon.